such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul and seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons.
How's it going, guys? How y'all doing today? Ghost Caliber here, and well, I'm making a review on Payday 2. Basically talking about the things I like and the things I don't like about Payday 2, and going in depth about it. So, Payday 2 takes place in Washington, D.C. in the year 2013, where a group of clown masked criminals unleash a torrent of chaos across Washington, D.C., backed by the reclusive devious mastermind Bane. They drain the city's vaults and fill their own greedy pockets, causing chaos and destruction wherever they go. These are the adventures of the Payday crew. And that's in one of the song files found in the game. Basically explains what they are doing, but their motives kind of change throughout the game, as the heists go on, as they help more people get betrayed a few times, stuff like that. Like Locke betrays them. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about the story right now. I'm here to talk about the game, like how it plays, how it feels. So I'm judging this off of PC. I think I might make a PS4, a PlayStation 4 review. But so far, one thing I like about this game is how I can play this game for hours and it never gets boring. Payday is one of those games where there's a certain amount of variety to be had in each one of the little heists, each one of the modes, each things you can gain from playing the game, and you can just do different things to make the experience feel fresh in a certain amount of time. Now, there are a few gripes that I have about it where different things happen throughout the game as you play and get higher up, and people throughout the game as you're playing with like real people, they kind of get annoying, right? Because sometimes they'll have their party public and then get mad that you joined. But anyway, that's just about people. It's not really what I'm trying to talk about right now. But let's talk about one of my favorite heists. Sadly, I'm not doing that heist right now. I'm doing a transport heist. But one of my favorite heists, the Alaskan deal. So far, the only heist of its type, other than possibly the Shadow Raid, or maybe the one of Vlad's heists. But basically, you get betrayed by Locke, and your main focus is to get out of Alaska. But there's other stuff you can do, like grab weapons, grab money, stuff like that they don't explicitly tell you, but it's something that you kind of learn by playing the other heists, that you can pick this up, you can pick that up, stuff like that makes this game feel special. It feels different than any other game. Like, say, a battle royale game. Say I'm playing one of those, and the game will get stale after a while because it's the same thing. There's not that much variety. You have a certain amount of weapons, certain amount of things you can do, because it's a battle royale game. You can't really do much with it. So the amount of enjoyment you can have is limited, very, very limited. But when I play a game like Payday, it doesn't feel limited. It feels like I can play this game for hours, and I think I'm already at 100 hours for having this game for 2 weeks. Mainly because it's just fun. You can do a lot. You can even rob the White House. Now there are a few variations of different heists, like Diamond Store is just a bigger version of Jewelry Store, but yet again there's still some different stuff in that heist. So it still has like the same thing you have to do, but again kind of different. Also like the numerous different bank heists, like Brooklyn Bank, Harvest and Trusty Bank, First World Bank. But the thing is about all these banks is there's something different. The big bank has you dropping a piggy bank filled with all of your equipment into the big bank. Harvest and Trusty Bank has you drilling through the vault and throwing all of your blowing a hole into the wall and throwing all of your cash into, well, a garbage truck because you need to escape the building. None of the other heists have that. Like the Harvest and Trusty Bank heist, what you do in there is drill into the vault, grab the money, and take it to the van. Simple. But the thing is, it's like that's the one thing I like about Payday. It doesn't feel like it's getting boring. It doesn't feel like I'm doing the same repetitive task over and over again. Different games have perfected the formula of doing the same task over and over again. Game that comes to my mind, two games that come to my mind actually, is Minecraft and Plants vs. Zombies. They do the same thing, but at the same time, there's differences. With Minecraft, the world is different. So the feeling of exploration that that game has makes it feel, well, different. It doesn't feel like, even though you are doing the same task, it doesn't feel like you're doing the same task because there is a different variation, a different version. Like how I compared it to the bank heist, how I compared the different bank heists and how I compared the different jewelry heists. Now, there are a few gripes that I have with Payday. One is their difficulty system. Now, the difficulty system is kind of more or less refined when until you get to a certain level. Like if I do a heist on overkill on, let's say, cook off, where I sit in a building and cook meth, I might have an easier time doing overkill on that map than I would playing overkill on a map like Safe House Nightmare or one of those event heists. Because the difficulty scaling per heist is not refined that well. It's not really fine tuned. And it's kind of annoying when sometimes the game will ask you for certain masks that look good to complete every heist on a certain difficulty. But that's one of the only gripes I have. Another gripe that I have is also continental coins. And the continental coins, you are kind of, once you get to a certain level, you're more or less forced to play crime spree or hold out to get continental coins because you play normal heists, you're not going to get that many, that fast as you would doing 3 heists on crime spree, which is what I'm doing right now to make this video because I already knew this video was going to be pretty long, definitely longer than my other videos, my other works. But another thing I like is that each contractor and each character feels unique. I don't really get bored of hearing Locke's voice or hearing Bane's voice. They don't sound boring, they don't sound annoying. They both have their own charm to each character that makes them feel unique. I can hear their voice distinctly, kind of like with the ambassador in Team Fortress 2, where you can tell when she's talking and not when, say, the scout or Miss Pauling are talking. Mainly because it's due to the voice actors that have given an amazing performance playing as Bane, Joy, Dallas, Jacket, all the characters that basically make Payday 2. And each contractor feels like a different entity. It's like if I do a job for Locke, I know the job's gonna be different than doing a job for like Vlad, because you can tell their personality just by listening to the mission briefing before each heist. That's another thing that not a lot of games have perfected. That it has a feeling of differentiating the characters. Now, a lot of other games have tried and failed, and I'm glad that Payday, with the amount of characters it has, that they were actually able to do this and do it fairly well than others. And also, the amount of weapons in this game, there are a lot. there, there are a lot. And each weapon has their own customizations that honestly change the weapon entirely. One of my favorite customizations are Dragon's Breath rounds for the shotguns, and the reason I like that is because you're trading in damage for a status effect that basically one shots normal troops and kind of two shots higher troops like the taser. Now you would have to weaken up higher troops like say a medic or a dozer or even a cloaker, mainly because they just have more health than a normal troop. Another thing is the perks and the perk decks. The status effects that each perk deck has can have every character be different. Every player be different, I mean. Like I have a Joker's skill, and the Joker skill allows me to convert enemies like this. Basically making them fight for me. Not a lot of other heisters that played this game have that skill, which means me and someone else who may have an armorer skill tree, which makes them able to swallow damage more, can basically be at the front lines while I give everyone else an edge by having six heisters instead of the normal four, which also gives a sense of variety when playing with other people. Because unlike Apex, which that was the first thing that came to my head, which each character having their own predetermined skill, each heister gets to create their own skills. And with the skills, they're able to basically pick and choose what they want. Unlike, say, what if I, like in sticking with Apex here, let's say I like Octane, right? But I like his character, but I don't really like his skill. Too bad, basically, right? Too bad I have to stick with his stim. Unlike if I wanted to heal myself, like Lifeline, I can't really do that because that game doesn't really support freedom like Payday does. Another thing I really like the game that gives freedom to each player that plays the game. A lot of people can have a different experience playing the same thing and make many different choices playing the same game. Payday is one of those games where a lot, like you can bring 10 different people into the same room playing Payday, and each one of them will tell you a different experience. Like someone can say, "Oh, they had an amazing time. The game was amazing." Someone else could say, "Man, this game really sucks," because they couldn't really grasp it. And someone else could just say the game's okay. But the thing is, they might say, well, there's too much going on. Like looking at my HUD right now, it is kind of cluttered, but at the same time, it's not. It shows my health bar, my armor bar, my ammo count, my gadgets, how many zip ties I have, and my throwables. Now, the way it is, well, the way the HUD is for me, I don't think it's that cluttered, but a lot of other people might disagree with me on that stance, and a lot have, but that just comes to a point of personal preference. Now, to me, a large HUD, and the thing about this game is that you can actually change the size of the HUD with a lot of PC games. But this is actually the based HUD, and I didn't have to change it at all. And that's the thing I like, where I don't really have to make that many changes. And if I do have to make a change, I really just want it to be a change of like what button I need to press, other than something big, right? Because if it's just a button I need to press, like say if switching a weapon was like T, and I just made it to C, so I don't have to make my hand go as far, then that's okay because it's not that big of a change, and they at least had it play well, and that's another thing I like about Payday. Now there are 3 new DLCs and a few new updates as our closing for this video. With a few updates that they've made, they've added Infamy 3, which is an update on their Infamy system where it's Battle Pass like, but you don't need to pay for anything, unlike scummy corporations like Epic Games and Activision. It's just in that same formula, and in my opinion, I like this better than their other formula they had, where it was kind of like a web, where you would pick what prize you wanted. It was weird, man. It was too cluttered, too difficult for other people to understand. Like if you didn't understand it or look up a video guide, newsflash, you're not gonna understand it. And that's just something I honestly did not like about it. Then they added Balak's Mansion, Breakfast in Tijuana, and Border Crossing. I can't really give a comment on them, but from the looks of it, they look awesome, man. Oh man, I was just about to leave the video without talking about one of the most crucial parts of this game, the enemies. Now, there are special enemies, and then there's normal enemies. We're not going to talk about the normal enemies because I think you can understand them. Normal enemies, like, they're just basic SWAT or security guards that have a normal weapon that it's kind of okay. No, it's not nothing to write home about, right? And then there's other people, right? Other enemies, right? So let's just go through each of them. Number 1, we're talking about the shield. The shield might be the easiest and or hardest of the bunch, depending on what you have. And basically, it's one of the normal SWAT guys just holding a shield, a bulletproof shield. Now, you get high enough in crime spree those, and you choose the modifier, bullets will repel off of it. Like you shoot a shield, and the bullets will just come back at you. Which pretty fun idea, but a lot of people think a lot of people just go to the side, which that is the most effective strategy against a shield. Now, next on our list of enemies is the taser. Now, a taser is dressed in yellow and black armor and basically tases you, allowing you to shoot in any direction. You basically at the will of one of your teammates to come over and shoot them, or you getting your aim right and shooting this thing. Now, it only takes 1 or 2 shots. You don't even have to kill it for it to stop. But you don't even have to kill it for it to stop. But it does help, you know. Next on the list is my personal favorite, the one that kills me the most, the dozer. Now, a dozer is this big SWAT officer that's dressed in bomb officer armor, and basically don't shoot it in the body. You shoot it in the body, you're basically dead. Now, there's 3 different types of dozers. 5 types of dozers, my bad. Now, first one is the normal green dozer. What that does is it's a dozer that's dressed in green that has a shotgun. And this shotgun does a lot of damage. I think it's like one of the Renfield shotguns that you can buy in the game. And it does a lot of damage, especially at close range, which is kind of bad because their weak spot is their head, forcing you to really get up close and aim for the head. You have a good firing weapon that does decent damage, you'll take them out no sweat. Now you have a gun that can't really do that. Sorry to tell you, you're not gonna have a good time with him. Now, second dozer is a black dozer, which has a slight variation of a different shotgun, but just in all black. It does the same thing, but this shotgun shoots faster. Now, the third type of dozer, which is kind of scary, is called the skull dozer. What it does is it has an LMG. I cannot find this last bundle of money. It has an LMG instead of a shotgun. Now, that might sound really bad because it is. And you'll tell what this is because it's all white and it has a mediocre skull drawn on its face. Now, this fourth dozer, which is the second scariest dozer, the minigun dozer. Think of the skull dozer, but with more health and a minigun instead of an LMG. Terrifying. Now, the final dozer, which in my opinion is the hardest dozer to kill, the Titan dozer, known as the headless dozer. It's a white dozer with a shield on its back so you can't go behind it that uses an LMG, and it has no head, so its head's not the weak spot anymore. So you have to have weapons that do that do a lot of damage and are very hard hitting if you want to take out the Titan dozer or the headless dozer. Now, next on our list of enemies is the sniper. Basically, just sits in the back and shoots you. That's a sniper. Everyone knows what a sniper is. Now, for the second to last special enemy is the cloaker. It's a thing that moves really fast and knocks you down in one hit. Sometimes it will do a side hit where you won't really know what it is, and it really does that when you're close up to it, or it will try to get closer to you. Its second attack is, well, this drop kick thing that it does, and you'll hear this loud siren screech go off when he's charging you. So you'll know when it's about to come up, and best thing to do about it is to either find out where he is, and if you can't, try to do a sidestep to get out of his range when he jumps at you. Now, this last enemy, who is basically like a shield but a lot worse, his name is Captain Winters. He shows up on Death Wish and Death Sentence, and he's a variation of the shield. He comes in with this squad where they're all surrounding him, a group of shields surrounding him, where you have to kill everyone around him and not kill him, do enough damage to him and he'll retreat. You can't kill him. And while he's still on the field, the police assault will not stop. So if you want to have a chance of stopping that police assault, getting all the specials out of there, because when the police assault stops, the specials will all try to retreat. Except for medics. I have not seen them try to retreat, but that might just be me. But that's all for today, guys. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Join the Ghost Army, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.